The March 1966 interview, originally published in London's Evening Standard, was republished in part by Datebook later that year in the U.S. In the published U.S. version of the interview, the majority of context surrounding Lennon's remark was left out. The quote struck a chord in the U.S., and Americans, especially in the South, took offense. They burned Beatles records, and the band's music was removed from radio airplay. Although Lennon meant it more as a passing remark or observation, it was harming the Beatles' reputation and also their safety on tour. The Beatles camp accepted that they were facing a crisis with a reputational threat, and they recognized that it was intentional and caused by John. From there, they realized he needed to apologize and take responsibility for the remark and its weight. It hadn't been conceptualized yet at the time, but the Beatles were enacting Combs' 2007 Situational Crisis Communication Theory. They went through the process of recognizing a crisis and reputational threat, categorizing the kind of crisis and the responsibility stakeholders would put on the Beatles for causing it, and then apologizing. Here's more on that apology.
Pointed out that fact in reference to England, that we meant more to kids than Jesus did, or religion at that time. I wasn't knocking it or putting it down, I was just saying it as a fact. And it is true, especially more for England than here. I'm not saying that we're better or greater or comparing us with Jesus Christ as a person or God as a thing or whatever it is. I just said what I said and it was wrong or was taken wrong, and now it's all this. I happened to be talking to a friend. They used the word Beatles as a remote thing, not as what I think, as Beatles as though those other Beatles like other people see us. I just said they are having more influence on kids and things than anything else, including Jesus. But I said it in that way, which is the wrong way. Yeah.
This incident also played a role in distancing the Beatles from their initial image. It might have been in a negative way, but the Beatles were no longer seen as four boys with matching suits in a band singing love songs.